People deluded. Now you guys know I love youth football. I love young footballers. That sounded so off, but you get what I mean, innit, people? Jokes aside, you know I love young players. And with that being said, you know I have a lot of time for clubs that give young players chances and things like that. There might not be too many within Fulham's currently first team at the moment. I know Harvey Elliott will get on. Well, I've spoken about him, so I'm not going to speak about him again in this vid. But he's a very talented player. He's got his debut. There's a couple that have been training, but yeah, I'll speak about a couple that I'm going to get onto in a bit, but I have to credit Fulham's academy. Obviously, you see Sessegnon in the playing first team now, and his brother Stephen has been on the bench in the Premier League, and he's not half bad himself. Credit to Fulham, man, because I believe, along with, off the top of my head, Fulham, you look at Fulham, probably Fulham and Charlton, I don't believe I don't personally believe they get praised enough for the players that they develop as well, and things like that. I really believe they're two very good clubs within England when it comes to developing players, whether they're sold on first team or just go on to have good careers. Charlton, there's many, and they have been doing that for years. So everybody at Fulham, credit to you. Hugh Jennings, I believe his name is, forgive me if I'm wrong, and everybody connected with the club. I believe even they had the talented Tyler Roberts, who departed and went to Manchester City, and he's doing his bits there. But yeah, man, credit to everybody at Fulham. That South London club is developing some good players, and it remains to be seen at first team level if they can stay in the Premier League and build a base and stuff like that. But either way, the future looks set. One player I like a lot, and I've just known about him since he was around 16, is Matt O'Riley. I believe he's 17, 18 now. He's actually made his debut now for Fulham in the League Cup. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Recently, well, he's been chased from the ages of 14, essentially, by Arsenal and specifically Manchester City. If you look at reports, he's recently signed a new deal, long-term deal, so that will make it tricky. But he looks like one that could eventually progress into the first team. He made his debut last year against Wickham, and he's a technically wonderful footballer. His best position is probably in the 10 or in a creative, if it's not exactly a 10, a creative sort of role. He's got wonderful technical abilities, passing range. Like you see with these sort of players, he's a very good player. Probably just needs to bulk up a bit and get a bit more stronger and improve his core. And probably he's good at holding onto the ball and fending off challenges, but be able to do that at first team level, and he'll be there. He's very much, in my opinion, pushing to be included properly within that squad on a match day. He's got a long way to go, but yeah, he might not be the strongest, quickest, and all of these things, but he's a very cultured footballer. And technically, he's impressing as well with his creativity and his technical ability. He's impressing. Like you've seen many articles come out of Fulham. It's not just him. You've got Francois Tyrese, who's got a couple countries he can play for in the future. He's a very good player. I've already mentioned Harvey Elliott. One that probably excites me the most is a certain South Londoner like Nelson, Sancho, and Pandava of Manchester City. Is Fabio Carvalho. Previously played for Benfica as a youth. His family moved to London for a better life or whatever, and yeah, naturally kept playing football. And then he signed by Fulham. Benfica wanted him back last year. He's 16 years of age, but he's such as his ability, he's already a main sort of player for their under 23 sides. I don't watch Fulham religiously, at youth level, so forgive me if that opinion is not exactly informed, but he does look like a prominent player. For me, it's very exciting, man. Just look at his hat-trick earlier in the year against Reading. He's got lovely creativity. He's got a decent yard of pace about him. He plays with a spring in his step. He's an exciting player. Like, you know when you see a player that excites you whenever they're on the ball, his movement's good. He is very exciting, and he might be playing for England, but a lot of that Portuguese flair and all of them things is transmitted in the way he plays, in my opinion. He's got scary potential, and just how good he wants to be is down to him and actually God. And God's grace, he don't get no injuries and go through all of them hardships. Undoubtedly he will. But yeah, another one who is part of that crazy under-17s England side with Monza, with Morgan Rogers, with his club mate Harvey Elliott. You've obviously got Nathan Wood of Borough as well. You've got, oh man, England's 17s, 18s. I feel the 19s to 20s, their age group for me, them age groups are the ones where they're going to have some players at first team level. The 21s, there's obviously talent with Nelson and Lookman and a couple others, but I can't lie, people. I'll be amazed if Solanke and Cowan Lewin go on to become regular England players, because at this moment in time it doesn't look like it's going to happen for either. Could happen for Solanke. I don't think it happened for Lewin at all, but yeah, back to this. They've got some scary players, then there's many more. There was one, wasn't there one the other day that they sold to Everton? Whether these players progress and develop and things is another story, because potential is just potential. Everyone's got potential, especially at the ages of 14 to 16, 17 years of age. But I've got a lot of time for an academy that really not only produces players, produces a certain kind of player, and they keep doing it. And there's probably some players I haven't mentioned and don't know about. So credit to Fulham, to be honest with you. Credit to Fulham. Any Fulham scout, anyone watching this, if you want to plug Deluded and get Deluded signed on your team, then let's do this thing. But yeah, man, in all seriousness, shout out to Fulham. Matt O'Riley is sick. Fabio Carvalho is sick. They've got a couple sick wonder kids there, man. So I'd love to see them develop. But it's down to them and whatever in it. Anyways, guys, DG, I'm out.